Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. My name's Cody Bills. This is Logan Burgess. Today is the 20th here, and we had the market move a little bit lower here with corn unchanged, soybeans down 6 1/4, and wheat in Chicago off 2 1/4 cents here. We did have export inspections today, and we noticed that wheat and corn both kind of coming in within analyst expectations, but really the big highlight here, soybeans coming in with 1.9 million metric tons. Very strong considering the high side of the range was only 1.3 million metric tons expected. I think that's one of the things that helped lift us off of the lows that we traded earlier on today. But Logan, where do you think we're going to go, and why did we open up so negative here this morning?
You know, it seems like right now, kind of longer term, there are still a lot of negatives that traders are chewing over in Chicago. We did have the Informa numbers out on Friday. Those detailed Informa projecting 88.5 million acres worth of soybeans planted in the 15-16 marketing year. In today's action, we saw November 15 trade down on par with November 14. That's typically not the case when looking at the deferred contracts. So right now, long term, there is some negative sentiment remaining in the soybean market. Another thing that, in my opinion, is going to weigh on this bean market as we move through the remainder of the week is that we have pretty good harvest weather here shaping up really through Friday. I know in our office today, Cody, it was dead quiet. Obviously, a lot of producers out there are getting this crop harvested right now. That could be a negative factor on prices as well. And if we look internationally as well, we do know that South America is going to become more of a focus here in the coming months. And right now, if you take a look at this map, it details moisture deficiencies down in Brazil, most notably Mato Grosso, the central bean growing state there. You can see that they are well below what they typically receive in terms of precipitation over the last 30 days. But that looks to be changing here this week. There's supposed to be significant precipitation really in that central growing region all the way out to the eastern areas. So that's another thing, you know, in my opinion, that's going to weigh on this bean market. If we just look at kind of where we're at right now in terms of price action, we've given back about half the ground that we picked up in this rally to start off the month of October. I don't know if the November contract is going to go down and test 9 again, but in my opinion, looking longer term, I think January does. Right now, where November 15 is on the board, if you are profitable with 955 or so in the 15-16 year, I think it's prudent to put on a little bit of protection here. There's a lot of longer term fundamentals that point to a soybean market which is going to be pressured as we move forward over the next 8 months or a year.
Absolutely. And when you look at this chart here, what you're seeing is the hourly November soybean chart. You'll notice that we had this kind of trending higher here, this short covering action where we went up and we went into the high 970s.
Right.
And I think that really when you look at this on the hourly, you look back on the 14th, we printed a low right around that 944 area. And again today, when we went back to that area, we really consolidated around it before we broke through. Once we broke through, we went down, kind of touched right around that 935, and then started moving back up. I think that area, that 944 area that we consolidated around was support. I think it's likely to turn into resistance. I wouldn't be surprised if this is somewhat of a top here for this short kind of intraday or short-term rally that we've seen in the soybean market. But we'll have to see. You know, this thing could take off again, and that's just the nature of these short coverings. But I really do think that we've kind of reached a little bit of a height here to this short covering.
You know, we did just get crop progress in hand here. That comes out each Monday at 3 o'clock Central Time. And as you can see from this table here, really not a lot to give the corner soybean market any direction as we move into the overnight trade session. You can see conditions were unchanged here on the week. And in terms of harvest pace, right in line with trade expectations, 31% harvested for corn. The average was around 30%. People were looking for around 50% of beans harvested. We got 53, so that could be viewed as a little bit negative. In general, though, this was in line with trade expectations. As I said, really nothing to sway the trade one way or another as we go into the overnight session. If you have any questions about what we've talked about here on GrainTV, or want to take a look at our great mobile trading app that a lot of producers are taking advantage of right now during harvest, visit us over at grainhedge.com and take a demo, or give us a call at the office, 877-472-4607. Thanks for joining us here on a Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow.